gelatin, and I have gelatin already made up. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Where is it? Right here. Gelatin under the, all ready to go. Hopefully it's not solidified. Looks like it is. Son of a bitch. Crap! Now it's Jello. I don't know if you guys can see that, but the fruit flies are trying their damnedest to get into my starter. It's a pretty big starter for my Belgian Quattro. Anyway, I have Black Betty. Saison. Look at that, huh? Saison monster. Wow. Diacetyl rest on my Oktoberfest. Just about done. Those little tiny bubbles says it's working. I haven't cold crashed it. That is a rack to secondary that still got sediment out of it. So, yeah, I'm going to tertiary it. Tertiary it? Put it in tertiary. Let's try that. Let's try English. Well, bollocks. Shit. I'll go microwave that. And what I think I'll do with this, because it's getting ready to lager now, is I have 2 kegs that are soaking, and then I'll rinse those out, and I think I'll tertiary cold crash in that, in the lager fridge. And I'm brewing again today, Belgian Quattro. Heating up the RO water now. I gotta do my water additions, and then grind a shit ton of grains. All right, you guys have seen all this before. I'm not gonna bore you with it, but I do have some footage from a visit with Dan the Man. Check it out.
So,
hey,
cheers, man. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I know.
So, what's up, B's and G's? Gary stopped by to pick up some SJ4 beers. So, if you guys haven't, well, hey, you've already signed up. So, actually, it's me. So, if I haven't shipped your stuff out, I apologize. But I do have until next week. So, you have to take your time. You're not close enough as Gary is, so you can't come and get them. If you want to, you absolutely can. Just let me know that you're coming. And if you are, bring beer. I think we have something that we're going to review, yeah?
Yeah, it's a Curieux. I've had it before. Have you had this?
I haven't had it.
Yeah, it's Allagash Brewing. It's a Curieux, barrel aged.
Barrel.
You had me at barrel.
You had me at barrel.
So it's 11% bottle aged, barrel aged rather, in oak barrels. I can't remember the whole.
I know. All right. So here's the one thing that I do, because I've read the label. I think.
Yep.
It's Jim Beam barrels, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it is Jim Beam.
And they take the barrel aged triple, and then put it back into a clean triple. So it's like a blend, right? So I think they brew two triples, and then they blend barrel aged back into a clean version. And I don't know if they rotate around and they keep going.
I think they do, because I've been to Allagash a couple of times and they have talked about Curieux, but that was a few years ago. But I vaguely remember that conversation happening.
Yep.
I do know it's bottle conditioned, or at least part of it's bottle conditioned, because there's always a little bit of sediment in these bottles.
Are you going to save it and wash it?
No, because a lot of times with these triples and quads, it's not the same yeast
that they use to ferment it with.
Right.
I don't know, that Three Taverns triple that I had from my nephew that brought it from Georgia, from Decatur. That thing, the yeast, I made a starter. I pulled it off and kind of built it up. It smells exactly like the beer that we had.
Good.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I guess you'd have to really check with
everybody's going to be different.
Different. So like I'm going to be doing a quad, and it's going in a oak barrel, but it's wine aged barrel that I've done a couple of some reds in. So, but I'm going to finish that off with, I think, 099. So it's going to go in with a Belgian high gravity yeast, but then I'll finish it off with 099 to really make it crisp. So it's a different yeast.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So.
Barrel aged, like wine barrel aged.
Right, I know.
Man.
So I did a Merlot, 2 Merlots and a Malbec
in that barrel. So it's done for wines, basically. I think I've pulled enough oak out of it that it's not going to net me much. So anyway,
Sweet.
Yeah, so that's my next project.
That's awesome.
So I'm a little tired. Last night I decided to start brewing beer at 4 p.m. So I didn't get done until 11:30 at night.
What did you brew last
I
night?
rebrewed Black Betty because it's such a favorite at my house. It goes so quickly. And it's football season now here in the U.S.
Thank
American
God.
football. So
Thank God.
I'm going to get the pour.
No, you pour yourself.
No, that's not good.
I should be pouring. You're the guest.
Doesn't the guest pour? I don't know.
In our house, I guess it's catch can, right?
So, anyway, I'm just down here. I work down here sometimes, and just so happens Dan's in the area, so we can hook up more often. Yeah, this thing is just full of aroma and body. This is one of the ones I want to send to Kevin, but I'm not sure if Kevin already got to this. Yeah, this thing is just.
It's not a review unless I stick my nose or my.
Oh, yeah, right in it.
The head is a little.
Yeah, it's super carbonated.
It really is.
Yeah.
You know, have you had Spencer? Did we talk about this before?
No.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That's what we said that the other day, right? What's crazy about that Spencer too is every bottle is like you take your life into your hands when you drink that thing because the second you pop it, it almost explodes. And this has got that super Spencer-y character.
Sorry, I went in for the kill already.
No, please. You've seen it. It takes me a long time. I apologize. There's a lot of chewing that goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I know. There's so many subtle. I'm getting even some pepper in there too.
mm-hmm. Vanilla, like
Yeah.
a lot of vanilla.
Just a hint of licorice, but not.
No, yeah.
But not enough to really kind of throw you off.
But it's really estery. I mean, there's like a lot of yeast going on in this.
Oh yeah, it's got the typical, the Belgian aromas and esters that throw off from the yeast.
All right, I've dipped my lip in it like twice now. I'm gonna take a sip. Cheers, man.
Yeah, cheers.
Thank you for this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Cheers.
All right. Vocal banger from The Alchemist. It is brewed with Citra and Mosaic. I wanted to thank my daughter's friends for bringing me this beer. I hadn't had this one yet. The Alchemist is in Vermont. It's not that far away, but it's one of those ones I haven't picked up yet. Okay, so they say to drink it from the can, but I am not going to do that. I may leave a little behind just to see. They claim it's better in the can. That doesn't make for a good video, does it, if it's in the can? So I'm brewing beer today, and yeah, I will leave a little in the can. Wow. Alright, look at that bad boy, huh? Almost looks fluorescent. Well, I poured it gentle, but it's, not much of a head there, which is probably par for the course with all those hop oils. You know what? They are right. I'm getting more grassy notes up here, and I'm getting more tropical fruit out of the can. Isn't that something? Yeah, more floral and grassy notes. There's still some tropical fruit there, but in the can, boom, in your face. In your face. All right, let me give it a shot. Wow, that's good. Holy crap. That bitterness goes right from the time it hits your tongue and it races all the way to the back. All the way evenly. Boy, I have to admit, it is better in the can. Wow, isn't that interesting? So they have a nice little saying on the back of it. Don't be a D-bag. Recycle this can. 7% alcohol. It's a, oof. If I was doing the Kevin Clement scale, I'd rate this beer way up there in the 90s. Way up there. It's one of the best ones I've had in a while. It's got a lot of resiny residue there on the tongue when you don't go back for it for a while. Let me see if I can bring that aroma up on that. Oh yeah, there we go. That's some of what I was getting out of the can. Alright, so as you saw, I went to see Dan. Let me start moving this out of the way. I'll spend some time down there, probably once a month or so. God willing, we'll get together more often. Oh yeah, Belgian Quad brewing now. I've got the oil cam going. Give you a snippet of that right now. I can talk over that too. What's new for me? I'm going to be working my ass off. Oh, hang on. We gotta go drop some hops and some candy. So I'll cut out for that. Anyway, just dropped my... You weren't able to see it because the other camera ran out of memory. I call it, you'll see it. Anyway, it ran out of memory. So this is warmed up a little bit since I had to drop the candy sugar and the hops. I did try to pour a little bit what was left in the can, but there is some dregs in that can. Could be hops, sediment, could be whatever. There is floaties in here, if you can see that. So there's definitely a lot of hops in this beer. It's still in suspension. But as it warms up, I get more lemon. I can get the mango more. I think it's mango I'm getting. Let me try one more time. Yeah, mango, but I'm getting some piney, citrusy kind of the pith kind of the citrus. More of like the pith. What a well-balanced beer, though. Anyway, I'm not big on the reviews. So it was really good hanging out with you, Dan, and I'm so pumped that I've got the SJ Pour beers, and then I actually made it into this year's competition. In last year's competition, I actually had the beer, and I don't know how I missed. I don't know, I probably didn't register right or something, and before I knew it, everybody had already shipped the beers out. So that was a bummer. We drank the beer here, and everybody liked it. It was a blueberry wheat. Anyway, this year, you'll probably figure it out at some point. It was a challenge this year. I'm wondering if it was just as many entries this year as last year, more or less. I'm curious because tough thing to do is brew a beer on basically 4.5% or less. Because a lot of us brew big beers. I mean, that's why we get into brewing, is to brew big beers. So this quad today is the biggest beer I've brewed in probably 3 years. I brewed a atomic lager. I tried to get a lager to, this is funny. I tried to get a lager in around 11%. So what I did was, it was a dark lager too. So think of a Oktoberfest on steroids, just really, really heavy with the candy sugar too. I lagered it until the lager yeast killed, it fell out, and then I hit it with an ale yeast to try to get it to ferment down a little longer. And that beer was so hot. It was like, it was full of fusel alcohols. But this was early on in my brewing world, and I probably didn't have a big enough yeast starter. But yeah, I called it the Atomic Lager, and had a mushroom cloud on the label. Oh my God, that thing was horrible. Anyway, this beer, however, is fantastic. Anyway, guys, this is the last update I'll probably do for a while. Probably not until you start hearing or seeing some of the short 3-minute videos. I'm going to try to keep them under 3 minutes for the SJ Pour Challenge. Reviews of the 9 beers in this hub. Yeah, I'd like to see stiff competition in this hub. I was looking at the beers that came in on the list, and I was like, oh wow, those all sound amazing. So I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, cheers guys. Remember, share knowledge, brew great beer.